The time has now come for lifting the restrictions?
I think caution is still warranted, and if you see that these are all temporary but emergency measures, and in the past, over the past 2-3 months, they are arguing that the time hasn't come as yet.
April to October, smuggled gold. Right. According to one of the report, it says that $33.6 million worth of gold was seized from smugglers between April and October, which is double almost when it comes to the previous year's this thing. On the other hand, the restrictions on this placed on imports of gold has brought down the current account deficit very significantly. About 93% has come down. 93% gold jewelry imports has dipped by 93% in the first 8 months of the current financial year. So how do you piece this together? So would you say that continuing these imports, continuing these curves on imports would still be on balance a better thing than to allow?
The underlying point is that I don't think the government is very happy to continue this import duties. This is one government which has been trying to bring down import duties since 1991.
Right.
So one needs to understand this. All these measures are more towards trying to contain the volatility in the exchange rate market, which we have seen in last year. And this is one of the measures that have been taken up by both Finance Ministry as well as the Central Bank. So in that sense, although they are not really happy, I think they were forced to take on, because there was a speculative attack on the exchange rate because of the external factors.
Right.
Now that there is some kind of smoothening, as Renu has already pointed out, some of the reversals are happening in the...
That's exactly the point. What I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
I think I asked Mr. Narayan, Dr. Narayan.
Yes.
How much is this gold, the restrictions on gold important? When we see the reduction, they're saying it had gone up to $88 billion.
Right.
The current
So the fact,
and now it is, the finance minister hopes that by the year end, by the financial year end,
right,
he'll be able to bring it down to $45 billion.
No, actually, you will not be surprised if you look at when the data comes up for the third quarter current account deficit, you might see a surplus in the current account deficit. That is the extent of impact.
Finance minister is not expecting.
No, there are some reports, you should be surprised, but the overall year, maybe you're right, you might be coming to 3.5% current account deficit. But if you look at the quarter, you should not be surprised that there will be some.
So what are the reasons for that? One is what, as Renu was talking about, oil,
See, there are two things happening. One side, you did see a reversal of signs in imports and exports. Exports started showing a double-digit positive and double-digit growth. On the other hand, imports started showing a negative growth.
Right.
So, if this is definitely a reversal of what we have seen in the first half of the financial year. So, the imports, as Renu has pointed out, it must be on oil imports as well. But at the same time, we are seeing some kind of a recovery in the exports, which should really be a surprise for us when we see a
One other thing which is being said by some observers, some analysts, is that this current account deficit, the reduction in the current account deficit is also partly because of the poor economy. Because imports have come down because the economy is not growing as much as it, especially.
Yes, there is a positive relationship.
Yes.
If you want to really target a higher growth, 7%, 8%, 9%, you end up with higher current account deficit.
Right.
But at the moment, when you are growing at 5%, you should not expect current account deficit to go at 5% and 6%. That's a dangerous signal. And we have been seeing the current credit rating agencies warning us. So the priority for this government at that point of time, despite being a chameleon finance minister and despite being a chameleon Reserve Bank of the governor, there are lots of news saying that Tamil Nadu is one which consumes more gold. So on that side. So in that sense, when they have been forced to introduce all kind of restrictions, and that was inevitable at that point of time. But my view is that since we are reversing all those policies, when the current account data comes, you might see reversal of this policy as well.
So you think that what the finance minister says that we will have to wait till the end of March to get the figures and then before getting into any of this?
No, I don't think it's March. I think it's February it's talking about.
talking about February, he's talking about budget, but at the same time he also talks about end of March when we get
once the data comes in February, that's the time we get the data for.
Okay, Mr. Shekhar, Prabhat Shekhar, your trade federation and all you people who are in the jewelry business, and you have been demanding. What has been the impact in the last 8-10 months that these restrictions have been there? What has been the impact on the ground? What has been the impact on your business?
See, as Dr. Narayan has rightly said, that smuggling has been, from 1 to 10 it has gone. And the end user, the people who are making the jewelry, they've been suffered like anything. 80-20 is being imposed on us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That 80-20, which means that if you import 100%, 20% of it should be exported back.
No. See, if you export 100 kg, suppose,
yes,
then you are allowed to import 400 kg.
Right.
But we last year we have imported approximately 930 tons.
Yes.
And now this year we are going to import approximately 400 tons. Now this a balance of 500 tons is there, and which is coming in.
It's been halved.
And which is coming in.
Which is coming in through the smuggle route.
Why I should not say that, but it is coming in.
Yes.
Right? And which is very, very nervous through our part to our jewelry business, because our artisans, because the people who are connected to this trade, they are really bothered. They are really worried about it.
Let me try to understand what you're saying. You're saying that there is a demand for 800 to 900 tons?
950 and more.
Every year?
Yeah.
And what is being imported is just about 400 tons. So the rest is being utilized. There is a demand and it's being utilized. So
and
where it's coming is not. You don't want to talk about it, but it's obviously there's a smuggling.
I think the policy of 80-20 seems to be coming from the oil sector, where we have almost 20% of re-exports of oil imports. I think that seems to be...
Policy was there in this industry earlier even.
Yes,
the ratio of 10:90.
Rahul, yes.
Whereas it was not implemented in this spirit, and now 2080 being brought by RBI, so it leading to coming under FEMA rules and act, that has led to its proper implementation.
So there's a lot of concern among you people, the jewelers, and also the artisans, because in any case you're using that gold wherever it is coming from. The problem is that
a dissection is required, sir. There are two kinds of consumption which is there of gold. One is for stashing black money into it.
Right.
Another is actual manufacturing of jewelry and being sold to people as jewelry.
Yes.
What has happened over the period? The consumption of bullion as such for stashing black money has increased substantially. Last year when RBI had introduced the restriction in the first instance, they had clearly said that whatever gold is to come for jewelers only.
Correct.
Or can be sold by a bullion dealer to a jeweler only.
Correct.
Later they reduced the restrictions only in the favor of bullion dealers. It is very important. They should not allow stashing through bullion dealers. They should allow supplies only to gold jewelers. So in such a case, supply will not be an issue, price will not be an issue. The consumption and stashing into black money should be stopped. Rather, overall blanket stop over on the industry. That is very important to dissect.
Yes, I want to get Mr. Narayan in on this. Dr. Narayan, what Rahul Gupta is saying, about
Yes, please.
what do you have to say to that? Why was this opened up? Why, wasn't there an awareness that this could happen? That more and more black money is being stashed in gold.
No, I agree with the other commentators, but we must look at one thing. If Indian gold in India has come down to 400 tons from 900 tons,
yes,
and that's a huge amount of 500 tons,
yes,
then the international prices of gold should have crashed. It has not crashed.
Right.
It has come down because of overall demand-supply position, but it has not crashed. That means that gold is still finding its way into the Indian market. And the only way it can find its way into the Indian market is through smuggling. I have no qualms in saying that a lot of gold is coming into the market illegally.
Right.
And even this 80-20 route is being circumvented by a lot of people who are doing a round tripping in
right.
terms of booking exports where actual exports are not taking place. So in a way the gold, what you have done officially, you have driven the gold demand underground. So you have created, in fact, if you go back about 10-50, the reason that taxes on gold or import duty on gold was removed was in order to prevent this underground market in gold, and we have officially reintroduced it. So I think it is a very serious distortion that we have deliberately brought about just in order to balance the above the table books for a very short period of time. I don't think it's sustainable.
No, but you think that the impact it seems to have had on reducing the current account deficit is not an important issue here?
No, the impact is very important, but the impact is short term. The impact is what you have done is you have reduced the current account deficit on the official books, but somewhere else what you have done is you have probably what shall I say, done it in purchased gold through some illegal transactions. That is what has actually happened, substantially. And I don't know whether if you're looking at the overall balance, whether this is the way you want the economy to go. The only way to solve this problem, and we are a little bit obsessed about this gold and oil. But actually, if you look at it, it is a non-oil, non-gold import which has been growing very substantially in the last 5 years. If you just look at the tables, you will see that that means all the other goods have been growing very, very substantially. And why are they growing? They are growing because there is inadequacy of supply here. And the inadequacy of supply is because the inadequacy of manufacturing here. So you create conditions against manufacture in this country, and naturally the current account deficit will go.
Okay, that's very interesting what you said. Renu, do you agree with Dr. Narayan? These are all temporary measures. This is not going to have a long-term impact. These kind of restrictions will only bring about, like in the case of gold, driving it underground and things. So, what should the finance minister do at this point of time? Because controlling the current account deficit is also because there was a hue and cry when the currency market was fluctuating so heavily, when the Indian rupee went down so badly.
Exactly. I think in the short term there is no other way except to control it through these temporary measures. I agree, and I think even policymakers agree and know that it is distortionary, and over a medium or longer period, what it gives rise to is actually a black market premium on the exchange rate. So you have an official exchange rate and you have a parallel black market exchange rate, as used to happen in the pre-1991 days.
Right.
However, the situation hasn't come about to that extent as yet. So I think it's temporary. A lot of it is linked to actually gold prices internationally. These are driven by the debasement of the dollar primarily. In the last 4 or 5 years, if you see, international gold prices are basically a safety haven, and it's directly linked to the debasement of the dollar. So depending on the dollar strengthening, which it usually does as the US economy improves, one should see international gold prices also moderating. And I think that should have a substantial impact internally as well.
Okay.
Over time, I think these restrictions will be removed, but it is of course contingent upon a huge improvement in exports, which went down actually in November, December. So there is a bit of uncertainty as to how robust is external demand and how much can exports be drive the current account deficit improvement.
So Renu, you don't think that this is the right time to lift the curbs on these gold imports?
Well, it's hard for me to say. I do have information, but that's only published information.
Okay, all public information, obviously.
Both the central bank and the ministry do have an informational advantage.
Okay.
And as I said earlier, I would trust and respect that judgment.
Okay.
Yes, I think it's supporting what I have been saying. So once we come to know what exactly the current account deficit situation.
You have made this very surprising statement today that actually there will be a surplus at the end of it. Let me get let me get Dr. Narayan. Dr. Narayan, do you agree with Balmurthy? Do you agree with Balmurthy? Do you think that we may be in for a surprise? We may be in for a surprise as far as current account deficit is concerned. He says that there may even be a surplus by the end of this financial year.
No, I said about the third quarter.
About third quarter. Third quarter.
If those are the numbers, then probably I would simply say that on March 31st certain bills have not been paid, maybe oil import bills have not been paid, maybe fertilizer import bills have not been paid, maybe coal import bills have not been paid. So it's very easy to have one slice of a particular point of time when you say I'm surplus at 5 p.m. on the 31st of March.
Dr. Narayan,
all the blow starts.
Okay, Dr. Narayan, there can't be anybody better than you who should know about these things. You having been sat there and done it and seen it all, and we will take your word for that. So Bhanumurthy, the question now is that it's very interesting that Pakistan has also banned gold imports the last couple of days. So how is that going to import? Because they have also banned. They banned because they thought that India is becoming a conduit for them, or Pakistan is becoming a conduit for gold to come through that to India. So now if both countries have banned or brought in curbs and restrictions, how is it going to affect the trade?
No, but there are many other countries around India. I mean, that is not the point. The point is whether to remove the import duties at this time.
At this time,
yeah, not. My simple answer for this is once we have a proper information about the external balances, I'm sure the government would really act upon it once they get the information.
But what about Dr. Narayan's point that these are all temporary?
I think all of us have agreed that this is a very short-term measure to really contain the speculative attack on the exchange rate, which we have seen in the middle of last year. There was no other way. I mean, many measures have been taken, and the gold import duty is one of them.
Right.
And as we see, when we see the stabilization of rupee in the foreign exchange market, I'm sure the government also will have a relook on all other matters.
Okay, Rahul.
One more industry concern.
I want to ask you the question. You can talk about that also. My question is, would the industry be happy if, among other things, the first thing, if it removes that 80-20 thing, would that be a first step which the industry would be happy about?
So there are two kinds of restrictions.
10% import duty. If they keep the 10% import duty on and remove the 80-20 restriction, would you think that the industry would be happy?
Sir, all containment of the CAD regarding through reduction in gold import has happened through 2018 only. Duty increment has been happening since last year.
Right.
From 1% it was brought till 6%, but there was no reprieve. That is why 2018 quantitative restrictions were brought in. So the moment 2080 goes off, duty will not be very much impact. But on the vice versa, there is another bigger concern which I would like to share. You lift the restrictions again today. I mean, since yesterday, there is a big change which has been seen in the forex market. Just by the discussion of lifting the restrictions, the rupee is depreciated by 2%.
Right.
Evening it was trading at 62.83 in international market.
Right.
So if in case it actually gets lifted and it becomes 65 and again you put in restrictions, industry will not be able to survive in such a case. Even if you want to lift the restrictions, do it in a phased manner so that you are sure what you are doing. Because if you lift up in a shot and you again put it in a shot, it will make the industry a mess.
No, but as far as this currency fluctuation is concerned, how much does the government have control over it? One more thing.
Well, forex market has its own behavior. Its own behavior. But the short...
There was this news item saying that Sonia Gandhi has asked the finance minister. So that seems to have triggered off all this.
But there's a fluctuation. But even finance minister said no even before the markets opened. So I think we cannot really relate all this thing.
But since yesterday, market has been playing on these two news only.
And these two
but this is only 1-2 days kind of situation. When the exchange rate behavior has to be looked at in a slightly
broader perspective.
Yeah. But the kind of sharp depreciation that we have seen in the last year, I think nobody would like to go back to that kind of situation.
Exactly.
So the reason is that, even if they want to revert this policy, the finance minister, you need to add commerce minister also. Yeah, commerce minister is also saying the same thing.
Yes.
And they might take a really well-informed judgment in terms of reversal of these policies.
Commerce Ministry had said before a month that there are sufficient supplies.
Yes, he said there are sufficient supplies. But
you
said sufficient supplies are there. You say that there are sufficient supplies. From how you are getting...
He also is not saying there are sufficient supplies.
He said that the 910 which you want, you are getting.
There were.
Now,
sir, I request Honorable Finance Minister Saab that we are really struggling with our gold business and gold jewelry. Even our artisans, even our customers. Because मैं आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल बोलता हूँ. एक पिता है, उसकी बेटी का शादी हो रही है और उसने 5 लाख रुपए की गोल्ड ज्वेलरी लेनी है। आज रेट 25,000 है और उसने 5 लाख रुपए की ज्वेलरी में 150 ग्राम सोना आता है। जिस दिन वो लेने जाता है उस दिन उसको ज्वेलरी मिलती है 125 ग्राम, क्योंकि वो रेट जंप होकर के 25 से 30,000 पहुंच गया। एक्चुअली में तो वो 25 ही है। तो कौन लूजर हुआ? ज्वेलर के पास 5 लाख रुपए आ गया, पिता ने अपने 5 लाख रुपए दे दिए, लूजर तो वो बेचारी लड़की है। जस्ट थिंक ऑफ दैट वे कि हमारी जो यूथ है वो भी बेचारी अभी इससे सब चीजों से सफर कर रही है, और हमारा जो ट्रेड है वो किन ऐसे लोगों के हाथ में चले जा रहा है जो लोग इलीगल है, जो लोग यहाँ पर होने ही नहीं चाहिए। और दूसरा, एक NRI पहले 5 किलो सोना लेकर के आ सकता था, आज वो 1 किलो क्यों ला रहा है? वो उसको 5 किलो अलाउड होना चाहिए, वो भी उसमें करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट कहीं प्ले नहीं करेगा। वो 5 किलो से 10 किलो कर दो, आप कहीं कोई इश्यू नहीं। आप इस 10% को 2% कर दो, ये स्मगलिंग सारी ऑटोमेटिकली खत्म हो जाएगी। जो ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब ने जिस टाइम फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर थे, उन्होंने इतना फाइन सिनेरियो करा था, इससे हमारी इंडस्ट्री में सारा टोटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप हो गया, सब चीजें आ गई इसमें।
Dr. Narayan, very quick last words to you. You think that
last word because I need to go.
Yes, the last word to you, and the program is also ending. This focus on gold and thinking that that will be one of the ways in which to improve the economy by curbing gold imports and all. You think that thinking needs to change?
I think all of us are agreed that it was a kind of low-hanging fruit in the sense that some quick fix was needed at a time when the forex rates were extremely volatile, and this was the easiest and the quickest thing that could be done. I think government has to be recognized that government acted fast, the RBI acted fast in bringing this. But to sit back and say that this is it and this is all, I think would be a very, very short-term answer. Okay. And I would have liked in the last 5-6 months the government to come out with some measures on a larger term of, I go back to the word of increasing supply, of improving exports. Right. I mean, if they had come up with a few measures of improving exports, and that I would think I would have liked it very much more.
Renu, very quickly, you think that the government has not done enough? What Mr. Narayan is talking about?
Look, I think it's done enough. My only complaint would be that all these measures which they took in July, August, September should have been taken just 6 months ago, and we would have avoided the sharp depreciation.
Okay, I think on that note we need to end. This is a discussion which will go on for some time now, but hopefully, as Bhanumurthy and others also say, when we look at the figures next month, maybe there will be some respite for the gold and gem and jewelry industry. We will wait and watch, but as of now, there doesn't seem to be, as going by what the finance minister says, that he would rather wait for another month before taking a decision. So at that we will put an end to this program. Thanks to all my guests, Dr. Narayan, Renu Kohli, Bhanumurthy, Rahul Gupta and Prabhat Shekhar. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue of the big picture same time on Monday. Meanwhile, have a great weekend.